Hey, what's good? It's Roknin, and I am doing another Roknin versus online video, but this is going to be a little bit different. I haven't done a video or recorded a new video since before Evo, and a lot has happened. A lot of it's been straight up life changing. A lot of it really, most of it really hasn't been. It's really still kind of business as usual, but I've been doing a lot of thinking, a lot of different subjects. So since I haven't done anything or said anything since before Evo, it's probably best that I kind of go back and touch on that. So the matches that'll be up here in the background, you can check them out. Feel free. But this is gonna be one of the few times when I do a Roknin versus online, where it's not really gonna be so much analysis as much as it is me going over, what I've been dealing with the last few months, or well, not months, weeks. It feels like it's been months. I feel like Evo was like a year ago. It was just like 3 weeks ago, or even 2 weeks ago, actually. What is this? I don't know what day it is. It's the 27th, 26th, the 5th. I don't know. Whatever the day is, it's still happening. So yeah, right now I'm just trying to cycle through to see what matches I can grab that I have. Let's go way back. Let's see. 26th. Okay, no, let's go back further. Oh wow, is that all I got? That is all that I have available. Well then. Is this against Kyosuke Neo? No, this is against Lollipop. Well, I'll play that one. I'll go with that one first, sure. So, the Evo tournament at, or the Cross Tech tournament at Evo, saying that backwards. I feel like it went pretty good overall. There were some things that, could be worked out. And I talked to the organizer about it. And, it was pretty good. It was good to meet I met a lot of players there that hadn't been out to, or at least they weren't an Evo. Well, it might have been Evo last year. I just didn't see them because last year for me Evo kind of sucked. This year I was way more prepared. The car didn't break down. I had a co-rider, had a co-partner there. Me and Don Wulong both participated in the tournament. Just both hanging out and meeting players, and it was fun. And it was a lot of good times to be had there. I actually met GLK in person. I met Kupo Gal. Let me know if I got the name right, because I don't even know if I have it right. But Curtis, I met Curtis there. Alpha Zero was there. I met Alpha Zero in person, and he actually did the red armor dance, which is pretty awesome. That was good to see that. I won't even lie about that. That was pretty awesome. It reminded me of my unfortunate demise, but it was pretty damn awesome. And then of course met Psycho Blue, who organized the tournament and actually did a pretty good job. I talked to him about some things that I think really helped out, but I think mostly it was just a matter of just having more actual help there. But it was good. It was good, and thank you for organizing it. Really appreciate that. That's good on you. Also met Nomad there, really cool dude. Reiki Kirei, or Reiki. Finally met him in person, and because we've been talking about Cross for quite a while, for some months, and he came all the way from Brazil just to play, and it was great to ooh, that raw launch. It was great to meet him there and finally chat with him and just kind of get matches in with him. Which I have a bunch of matches that we had in our room that I need to go ahead and get uploaded. But I am, as you can probably tell by the fact that this video is coming so late, I am super deluxe behind on recordings. I have a ton of matches from before Evo, not to mention from Evo, not to mention from after Evo, that I have to catch up on. So I apologize on that. It's been crazy trying to get everything rendered in, especially when my laptop is starting to finally like cave under the pressure. So it's been hard to get. I was trying to use my other computer to render stuff, and it's just too old. So I need to get a replacement desktop soon, because my laptop, as good as it is, eventually I'm just gonna it's not gonna be able to do anything for me. But yeah, let me see who else did man, World Warrior, I met him. And then ran to, and just a bunch of people, I can't even name all of them. Then of course ran to a bunch of people that from the scene that I've already got with, and we know each other pretty decently. So Jury Kill's friend, Steel Toe Sandals, Chaos Limits went off her, Tim Bison, damn, it was a ton of people there. So again, like I said when I did it on Twitter, if I forgot to mention you, I apologize. Just hit me up and call me bad names. I'm sure I'll remember next time, or just hit me up and I'll say, oh yeah, I met this person too. Lord BBH, I ran into him. He was down there. He actually played with me and the rest of the Arizona guys late that night. The Arizona guys showed up later that evening. I want to say about 10 or 11 o'clock. We had another set of sessions that went on that night, and we all just were down there playing. Well, mostly it was them. I kind of was on the chill mode by that point, but there were a lot of them playing on my setup, and it was just fun to run into them. It was great. And BBH was there, and he played some sets. My dumb self, I wasn't thinking at the time. I should have tweeted it out that we were having sets down there. It was a ton of us playing, but I didn't even tweet it out. I'm like, damn, I should have done that. So yeah, my apologies on that, guys. That was Saturday night at like 10, 11 o'clock, and I honestly was about half dead because I had been up since 7 that morning helping out the tournament. So I was like, I was dead. But yeah, it was great. As far as how I did in the tournament, if you saw the stream, it. Yeah. I went 1 and 2. And I have plenty of excuses I could give for that, but mostly it was just me playing like I normally do. And I'll get into more of that in a minute. I want to just get through the tournament stuff, but pretty much I didn't do all that great. I lost to Temple Bison on stream, and I won against Steel Toe Sandals off stream, and then I lost to Chaos Limits on stream. And in both matches I had on stream, I wasn't playing smart, to be honest. I was playing smart, I was playing scared. And I think, well, again, I'll get to that in a minute. I will get to that in a moment before I go crazy and go all deep into that explanation. That's a whole nother subject. But yeah, I didn't do great, but it was still a fun experience. So still go out there. And this year Evo actually participate. I also played Ultra. You thought I did bad in Cross. I did really bad in Ultra. I mean, I wasn't completely free, but I mean, I went 0-2, so I can't really expect much. And I was talking to some of the Arizona folks afterwards, and at the time my mindset was, I don't really care about this game anyway, so why am I even worried about this? And to be honest, I think that was more or less the salt talking, because I do like certain parts of Street Fighter 4, and I think overall the problem was I straight up just didn't practice. And yeah, by the way, that's the sack lunch you see playing right now. That is my boy Xavier, and he has definitely improved from the last time I played him, so I'm glad to see that too. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Yeah, it's not that I don't like the game. I think I just didn't practice enough, and I was playing the wrong people. I was playing online because I just didn't have like the time during the week to like really go out and to play as much as I wanted to. Plus, I was trying to do the cross stuff too. So I think that played more into it than anything. Because when I played the Tucson guys recently, I was like, oh, I do like this game. This game can be fun. I just need to play the right people and not play online all the time. Which, I mean, I knew that anyway, but just because I wasn't taking that seriously, I didn't really take the time to, like, find, I didn't take the time to find the competition I need to find for it. But overall, I didn't do very good in the Ultra, but I have decided I'm not gonna take it super seriously. It's not my main game, but I do play it and I do want to learn more about it. And since I've taken a different mindset to it, and I haven't made it like, oh my god, I'm like, some mindset has changed. I feel better about Ultra, and I actually feel better about the character I'm using. Yes, it is doing part to Luffy winning Evo with Rose, and I'm not even gonna touch on the people crying for Rose to be nerfed. Nose to be nerfed. Woo boy, Rose to be nerfed. Not even gonna touch on that, because that'll be a whole nother video. Anyway, I'm going way off the subject. My point being, I didn't do all that great at Evo, but I still had a good time. It was good to go there and just get matches in and be amongst other fighting game players and etc. etc. You know the deal. What other good matches do we have? I don't know if I want to put that up. Yeah, is that me? Yeah, that would be me. Okay. Had to look. I'm like, is that my team? I wasn't really sure, but it was. Okay. But yeah, so that was really a great experience. Let's see, and yeah, there was a ton of help from the RU Gaming guys, and big shout outs to them and World Warrior for just like hooking us up and really supporting Cross during it. The entire weekend, especially Saturday. There was some things that was like, oh wow, I was like really happy to see that. Okay, somebody has our back, so it's cool. Thanks again, guys. Really appreciate it. And especially with the casual session happening afterwards, it was good for you guys to like just give us that room and that setup. We all appreciate it because we all give the time to play, get our matches in. So it's cool, really cool of them. I also had some sets with the Pandora House guys over there as well. J-Size and LPN. Got close to beating J-Size, but I just could not deal with LPN's offense, so which is not surprising. I think the last time I played him, I can't remember if I played him offline or if it was online. I'm pretty sure it was online last time I played him. But either way, it's the same kind of deal. He just is so offensive, and I'm just, if you want to beat me, the best way to do is like go offensive, or just play either super offensive or super defensive. If you play like that mid-ground game where it's like you're like kind of that middle, like between offensive and defensive, I can kind of hang there. But if you go like super defensive, I'll get frustrated. If you go super offensive, I'll get paranoid. So again, that's going more into something else we're going to get into a little bit later, but I just wanted to bring it up again because of the sets. But it was really fun. I almost won a t-shirt, but it was really cool. Shout out to those guys. And yeah, after having those matches and like playing at Evo and then coming back and playing online some more and just just looking, it really got me thinking about my play style. And especially after watching the Evo matches, I'm like, what am I really doing? And I hadn't really, thought about the problem yet, or like what it may be, or what may be happening, or why I'm still I pretty much hit a plateau, as it were, where like I'm improving, but I'm not improving to anything beyond like the level I'm at. I'm getting better at the level of play that I'm at. I'm not getting beyond the level of play I'm at, if that makes sense. I'm still kind of relying on the same thing, still making the same mistakes. It's just that I'm getting better at minimizing those mistakes. But when I play against somebody that's like at that next level of play, you can really tell that I'm still very capable of making all the same mistakes and all the same foolish choices, and it's like really coming out and like being really apparent and showing itself. And it started to kind of get to me after Evo. At Evo, I kind of just wrote it off as like, all right, you know what? It must be nerves. It's got to be nerves or something. But then when I got away from that, I was like, well, it's still, it's still a problem. So what's going on? And I couldn't really figure it out. So I had to sit down, and it wasn't until that recent set that I believe Theory Fighter put a, no, not believe, I know Theory Fighter put a video up. He showed it to me first so I can verify it. But he kind of analyzed the video that I put up of what was going on between the set of matches I had with Lord Women the other day. A set of matches where I felt so dominated and so just outthought that I literally was like at the brink of like, you know what, I should just focus on other things. Like, it was one of those, it's very hard to get me to that point because usually it's just like I'll get mad at like trying to figure out what that player does. But that was like one of those rare cases where like I almost fell to the inner demons, and I was like, you know what, I should just stop because this is just getting so ridiculous that I can't. Like, I've lost to other players pretty badly, but when I lost to him that day, I felt completely like, why do I play this game? What am I fighting for? I went 0. I was like, what am I fighting for? And it got to the point I was like, why do I even, what do I sit down and practice and reframe data for and try to understand stuff for if I just, get read that easily? And that probably sounds really scrubby, but that's what was on my mind at the time when I finished those matches. And that entire night, after those matches, before those matches, I was fine. After those matches, I got blown up a lot that night until I finally got my wits about me and said, okay, all right, relax, figure yourself out, figure it out. And then recently, after those matches, Theory Fighter put a video. If the video's out and I can find a link, I'll put the link up, and I will definitely give a shout out for that video. Thank you very much, Theory Fighter, for putting that out there. Thank you to everybody that's giving me advice, especially in that matchup. I haven't taken it all in yet. I just kind of skimmed over a lot of it, but I'm gonna take it into training mode, and I'm just gonna sit down and start really figuring out exactly what my problem is in that particular matchup, which is Heihachi. It's Heihachi, Asuka. Really a lot of like high-low characters give me a lot of trouble, which is the problem I had when I was playing Tekken back in the day too. I always had trouble with like a lot of the like high-low mix-ups, but I would like get away with it, as it were. Which is different, if I knew this was coming out with side stuff, yada yada yada. Plus I played Tekken way more back then, so I was used to it. But I started playing Street Fighter and I got away from Tekken for a while, and now I'm kind of like, eh. But in any case, it really made me sit down and have to think like, what's going on? What's happening? Why am I plateauing so hard? 'Cause I've plateaued hard. Like, I've gotten to a point where like no matter what kind of training, practice, etc. I do every day, all day, the reading I do, the matches I watch, etc. I just don't seem to get any better. And at that point, it got frustrating. I won't lie. I got frustrated and I kind of vented onto the Facebook page. And I was just like, I just don't know what to do. It's either I learn what's going on or I get past this point or I just quit. I have no idea. So I really this Friday I went to the session. It was just me and Swoops. Unfortunately, not everybody's able to make it. There was a storm that night, and just we had stuff come up that night, so it was just me and him there at the gaming zone. But we played quite a few matches, and I just talked to him. I kind of just talked to him about it. I was like, look, man, this is where I'm at. I'm trying to figure it out, and I started thinking about it. And I think one of the things that I mentioned in that comment was true. I think his playstyle, I think Lil Wayne's playstyle is one of the ones that just completely just counters my mindset. Which that may sound silly, but there is a certain bit of truth to that. If somebody plays a playstyle that's like, if you're locked to a particular playstyle or mindset, and somebody else is able to just come in with that particular mindset that like is complete opposite to yours, and you're not able to change, if you just play to your habits, which is my problem right now, then it can be a very frustrating experience. That's why the better players are able to change their, just change their habits, change their play style on the fly. And that's something I've not been good at. So that was something I was dealing with, as well as the fact that he's super frame trap heavy, and that's something that probably grates on my nerve. Because I like to press buttons at the wrong time. It's like either or with me. I either press buttons at the wrong time or I don't press buttons at all, and either way I get blown up. So it's like, alright, I gotta figure that out as well. But I sat down, I was like, what is it that's really grating on me so much in this match? And sorry I haven't played a match in the background, by the way. I'm just doing this chat before I put the next match up so you can see what's going on. But yeah, I was like, what is it that is just grating at me? And really, when I sat down, I was like, I think that is that I'm playing a team that does not play to my strengths, or plays to my playstyle. And I was like, well, what is my playstyle? And this is all I'm telling the Swoops all this. Like, I don't know what my playstyle really is, aside from the fact that recently we're playing Street Fighter 4 and playing Rose again. I kind of felt a little bit more at home, just like not having to go in. I still do the dumb things, like every once in a while I need to not go in, I'll walk in anyway. But for the most part, just staying back and being like, you know what, here, I'm gonna throw out this standing roundhouse and these fireballs and this ultra, and you just come to me because screw that. I don't want to be anywhere near you. And I thought about, or just being in the mindset of like, you know what, you do all your fancy shenanigans, stuff like that, yada yada yada. I'm just gonna wait for my one opportunity and reversal. And I think that's more towards what I need to focus on is my playstyle, which I've said before. That's why I picked up Cammy again in the first place, is because I need Shoryuken. So it got me thinking. I started looking through the roster and I was like, man, what do I want to do? Because the Cammy Jury team, I love it. It's fun. It works. But I think I've kind of once again plateaued with that team. Do I go back to that team eventually? I still have it as a pick for certain matches or whatever. If I run into, say, a Jack player, I just I'm like, all right, well, he plays Jack. I can work this matchup with them, and I really don't want to do a Jack. I don't know. I don't want to play any other matchup with Jack. I feel like I'm really comfortable with that one. But anyway, I was like, well, what can I do? And I was like, I can do another zoner along with Jury, but I don't know if that's gonna work because like the other zoners, I don't really care for Elisa's playstyle for my playstyle, or the way I like to play, and I tried her out anyway and it didn't work. It didn't, especially not with Jury. So I was like, okay, well that's Ixnay. So I was like, alright, well what's next? And I tried Poison Jury. Poison Jury could work well. The problem is Poison Jury is not a good team. They just don't do enough damage to really make it worthwhile. On top of that, Jury can't tag off of half of Poison stuff really easily and get damaged. Like the most damage you'll be getting is like 300 or something. I'm not going for that. I ain't got time for that. So I started thinking, Sim's never been my playstyle. He like is the extreme defensive, and I'm like, I'm not that extremely defensive. I like playing some offense. So that led me to one other choice. That led me to Jack. And as usual with teams, I go into training mode and immediately say, well, you know what? What does Jack offer me that no one, or offer Jury that no one else offers? And then I kind of sat down and I kind of realized that he makes all of her confirms actually dangerous. Like, Jury has a lot of things she can confirm off of that are pretty cool to have, and they're pretty fun. The problem with the Jury Cammy team is unless they're in the corner, they don't get a ton of damage. Like, mid-screen they get okay damage, but in the corner is where they get the real damage at. And Jury Marta used to get a lot of damage off of any confirm, but then, Capcom was like, Jury's OP, even though she wasn't, and they took her damage away, so that kind of just ruined that whole thing. So yeah, and that and the fact that playing Mark is kind of counter to the idea I'm trying to think of anyway. It's like I wanted to get another zoner that could actually do damage. So I decided to try out Jack. And I took him in the training mode and said, let me see how he feels and see how he works with Jury. And I am happy to say that so far I like what I'm getting. I just need to learn how to play Jack better. Like that right there was just a bad. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I've actually picked up Jack of all characters, which I'm pretty sure is like crazy to people. But hear me out. The team is just really overall defensive. Like with Jury, I can go in I can go in when I need to, but it's really not a necessary thing. It's not her strength anyway, as Windoffer and others have already told me like a million times. But it's not really her biggest strength, as I'm blocking all this stuff. And her main strength is really just staying back and making you come to her and building meter, which is something I've known, but for some reason when I play Jury with Cammy or with any other characters, I just like any other offense character I say, I just feel like I have to go in. And I think part of that too though is because of the fact that I have Jury on anchor. And a lot of the time that means that when Jury does come in, she has to make up for damage. If I have her on point, she doesn't do that necessarily, especially for point. I missed that. Yeah. Her point is like, or her anchor, I'm sorry, is Jack, because Jack is going to do tons of damage anyway off anything she confirms. So, and on top of that, I've always admired Jack's game. I just never, like, I've tried playing before in the past, and I was like, you know, I'm a big stickler for like walk speed and move speed, and I'm just like, ugh, I just couldn't feel it. I was like, why? It's just so slow. But then his dash isn't that bad, and the fact he has so much control of the ground and just so much control in the just as far as zoning anyway, actually kind of makes up for it. I thought I could arm out to that. I did block that dog spot, and I missed that, and I got hit right here for the happy birthday. It was great. But yeah, I was like really surprised. I'm like, wow, you know, I can actually work with this, and I'm kind of using them in the mindset of like outuse, say, roles where I'm like putting out stuff just to keep you away, or to like outrange your best poke from as far as where he can. 'Cause he actually has some stuff that reaches pretty far and like kills some common stuff. I haven't tried him against like say a good Horong or like a good Nina yet, or like a good Jin yet, so I don't know exactly how I'm gonna feel about those matchups. But considering the Jack players that I've like seen out here and what they are able to do, I'm like, this should not be difficult, or it's not gonna be a fault of Jack. So I know a while ago I was playing Cammy and Elena, and I felt like that was the team, and I was gonna change ever again. Well, what can I say? I lied. I lied, and I'm not ashamed of it. It is what it is. I'm not gonna even try and make it like, well, you know, it is what it is. I thought the team would work, and for a while it did, and then I started noticing problems with that team. Namely, really with the Cammy Elena Jury characters in general. They play the same role on the team. They don't have the same exact function, don't get me wrong, but they play the same role on the team, which is like, you know, a point or anchor that like really establishes like just spacing and pussies. In Jury's case, she establishes it more in zoning than anything else, but still kind of the same premise. That's a death. But so I was really playing the same character like in both slots every time I played one of those teams, and I could use Nina. But the problem with playing Nina is I think Nina's playstyle just does, and her, you know, her combos just don't work with what I'm able to do and what I'm capable of doing. And on top of that, I just, I don't know, something didn't mesh. Something was not meshing, I know that much. I can't tell you exactly what it was, but it wasn't working. So I was like, alright, well, the Nina thing's probably shot too. I will still play her for fun, but I'm probably not going to put a lot of practice into her. It's the other one I had with Alpha Zero. I want to try some other players on this too. But you know, I had to sit down. I just sat down and thought about like, well, she's gonna have to do the same problem. She's gonna have to get in, and her whole thing is being in your face. From full screen, she's not gonna do anything. From mid screen, she's okay, and she has a bomb anti-air. But I didn't feel like that was like really. I don't think she plays to my strength either as a character, even as good as she is. But I will still rock the play Nina shirt because I still think she's goddamn good. So I was like, you know what? Let me try this. And so far, my results have been mixed as far as wins and losses, which I expect. This is my second day playing Jack, as far as these videos are concerned. I pretty much took him to training mode. I talked to Swoops about some basic stuff and get some ideas, and I took him started taking the training mode so I can learn them. But yeah. So right now that's where I'm at. I've decided to change characters again. I mean, I might as well. And that's not to say that I blame the characters per se. Like when I'm having the wrong characters, that's why I'm losing. That's not necessarily what it is, as much as it is me recognizing that the characters I'm playing aren't really. Well, one, they're not really helping me out as far as like becoming a better player. Ooh, I got that, but I didn't want to tag it because I only had one bar. I was like, well, it's alright. I'll leave it out. I should have tagged it because I probably could have killed or got a little more damage than that. Yeah. And it's not a matter of like the character, just saying the characters are bad or anything like that. It's more a matter of me. I'm jumping way too much. It's more a matter of me feeling like, you know, I need to like just make a change, period. Like something else needs to change. I need to play a character that's not of that archetype in this game. Because every other game I play defensive characters anyway. I'm not exactly sure how defensive Viking is, but the way I played her was often very defensive.
Wow, that's a nice look.
Just staying back and kind of waiting and seeing what the other person would do, or like countering and things like that. It's one of the reasons I like playing her, because I could play that game. Back when I used to play Guilty Gear. I haven't played Guilty Gear in a while. I'm hoping she's in XR, but anyway, I'm not gonna go there either. But like playing her, or like when I played, who else did I play that's like really defensive? I played, I played Samus in Smash, and again, I'm not completely familiar with that meta game, but I mean, I like playing her because I can put these projectiles out and put these normals out that's kind of crowd control, or you know, just keep them away. And I think that's more my strength that I need to work towards. So, you know, it might end up being for the best. It may not be. I got all the time to figure out now that Evil's over. So, you know, it is what it is. I'll figure that out and I'll go from there. Right now, I am enjoying the team and I'm doing the damage. Holy mother! Like, Jack makes any team just have damage, but team with Juri, I feel like they just do so much damage. It's insane. I'm like, yo, this is like really good. Like anything I confirm with Juri. If I get an anti, you thought it was bad before I got an anti-air with Juri, and I got like, you know, 400 damage. Try getting the anti-air with Juri now. You're talking about like 530 damage for one bar, provided I don't drop it like that. Or you talking about a raw launch? A raw launch, I can get like 550 for like one bar. Like, why is that a thing? I'm like, I like that, and that's probably not even like really max damage. That's just me dorking around with the bases that I know right now. But in overall, I like Jack so far. I like what he brings to the table. I just gotta get rid of. I gotta get used to some of his quirks and kind of figure out, you know, what to use where. I'm starting to learn when to use a strike DP, when to use the throw invincible DP, when to use EX because, you know, F everything. You know, how his juggles work, what's a juggle with, what his wall carry and stuff is. I'm trying to get that down. I've been looking at his frame data and seeing what I can use, seeing what I can go into if I need to get him out of the game, what I need to use for boost, etc., etc. And it's kind of getting that down, and it's been fun. I think it's been the most fun I've had in the game in a while because I've been needing another character to kind of explore. And I thought I was gonna go with Horon because Horon, when I was playing him in Evo and right before Evo, he was fun, but he's another rushdown character. And I mean, you can play him lane, but it's not really, you know, his biggest strength, and it's not really my strength, you know. So I really just sat down and rethought how I was approaching that matchup, and it was like, oh well, or how I was approaching my matchups, period, I should say. It just made more sense to just try a whole new shindig. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. This is a huge episode. This is not what I really had planned for the 25th one, but it actually came together better, so I went ahead and went with it. I will get back to like the normal ones. Actually, I might do 2 this week because I have, like I said, a ton of matches to catch up on anyway. So maybe for my best benefit to do 2. One that's kind of a recap and kind of a blogish one, and then do another one that'll be just matches. I got tons of matches I actually want to put up here and like show and showcase and all that stuff. So yeah, and then I got some other plans, but I'll mention those later in like a blog or something. I'm not sure. So there you go. Thank you again for checking it out. I appreciate your patience with me because I know it's been like 2 weeks since I did any kind of like Roknin vs. Online video for those that watch for those videos. And I thought about it too when I was talking to Theory Fighter about this, but I was like, you know, I really don't honestly know sometimes what my series brings to the table. because I mean he's way more technically versed than I am, and there's a lot more people that are technically like inclined than I am and understand the concepts better than I do. But I kind of think I'm gonna approach it from the, or I think I'm gonna approach it from the idea of, a mid-level player trying to get, just out of that plateau area and just really more of the mental game and what you're thinking, what I'm thinking at times when stuff happens, what I think the opponent's thinking when certain things happen. And if I'm wrong about that, hey, that person can either come on here or somebody else can come on here and correct me. But I think that's where the strength of this series is at. So I'm gonna make sure it focuses on that from here on out, which normally it does. But I want to make sure I get that, just the mindset of people, because I think I understand that a little bit more than the technical aspect. I'm getting that down. I mean, you're talking about somebody that just really started understanding frame data completely. I've always read it. I've read frame data since I started playing Tekken 5 back in the day, but I didn't understand it like completely. And even now, I still don't understand it completely, but I understand most of it, like probably in the last few months. You can ask Lord William. I was like asking him all the time. So this is how this adds up, right? Okay. Oh, I get it. All right, cool. And I would still get the math wrong because fuck math. But yeah, that's where I'm at. So I think that's what the focus of this will be. Hopefully, somebody gets something out of it. One person gets something out of it and says, hey, it was really cool to kind of see, what your thought was and what you thought this person was thinking, and that really helped me out, or etc. Yada yada yada, blah blah blah, yakety smackety. Grab yourself a tall glass of OJ. That's cool. I'm cool with that. So again, thank you for checking it out, and I will see you on the next video. Later.